We are getting lost in stuff again.
Yes.
I want to go over to the
mining rig.
Yeah, I want to definitely see that now. Ah, all the air is gone.
Okay, now if you push the number 1 button.
Ah.
See, that was a lot faster.
Yeah, if you say number 1. It says elevator extend. That helps.
Yes. Just a little bit extra distance to see the one that's there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can't stand on the elevator at the same time and then take a look at this. Oh, it works. Okay. But...
All right.
Again, this thing should just have exploded. I'm pretty sure normally this thing should just have exploded, turned over, destroyed itself.
It's mystical magic stuff.
It is. It definitely is. And there's the bulldozer.
Yes.
That thing is really nice. You did a really, really good job with. Definitely.
Well, thank you.
Come to that.
Now, there's no. We got jetpacks. I was going to say there's no stairs over here, but we have jetpacks.
Yes. Again, with all the rotors, with all the pistons and wheels. Why this thing didn't flip, I'm not sure. And an Izzy on there, and just no. It should
not exist.
No, absolutely not. You even have gyros on the rotor head.
Yes, the gyros.
Oh! Take a look at the piston. See, that's the beginning, the bottom piston of the 2 ones there. It's sparking because it's broken. That's
I don't
the
see
beginning.
it.
No, it shows damage effects for me.
Oh, let me float over here and see.
I don't have a.
Oh, it is damaged.
I don't have a thingamabingy to.
Yeah, I don't have anything. Oh wow, I don't see the sparks, but it is damaged. That's probably from one of the many attacks that I've had.
Could be.
But the
that's the beginning. That's the beginning. It disassembles itself already.
See, you've jinxed it.
Should.
It should not exist, so it should fall apart.
Yeah, it should fall apart. Great clang.
The gyros are there to actually rotate the head. I learned that from.
So you don't do it with the rotor?
Nope, the rotor is nothing more than a pivot point.
Why?
I saw a guy by the name of Enigmius, I think was his name. Is his name that he used gyros to rotate his bore head instead of the rotor, because if the head hits anything that it can't go through, it'll stop. It won't bind. It won't try to flip the ship over. It'll just stop. If you use a rotor, at least this is way back before the massive update. If you used a rotor, it would continually try to force into the voxel and would eventually either tear itself apart or flip the ship over.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's what I use the gyros for.
So you have a remote control on here, or are they set to?
No remote control. It's just all they're a group.
Yeah,
and because
they are just set to
just yaw. I think there's a rotational speed that you set the yaw at, and it just rotates.
That's a nice idea. That's a really.
I'll go actuate it real quick. Well, actually, I don't even have to go up there. I'll just do it from here. So first off, I want to. Where is the advanced rotor? I'll turn it on. Rotor lock is off. Mining drive is on. So it should start rotating.
Yeah.
And see, that's all that is doing is it's using the gyros to rotate the head.
Nice. Does it immediately stop when you turn it off, or does it?
No, it'll
does it continue?
it'll freewheel. I'll go ahead and I'll shut off the mining drive, and it'll just slowly. It's off, so it's just slowly reducing speed as the friction.
Does the rotor have a bit of a braking force set?
No, I have no braking force, no torque. Velocity is 0, unlimited for both the upper and lower limits, and the rotor lock is off. The share inertial intensor is off, so. And with the exception of that
that's
broken
a neat
piston,
idea. I never thought using rotor using gyros for that case.
yeah, and
I know. I recently saw some people play around with rotors just as don't know this whole thing using rotors just as joints. So nothing set up there, just using them like you did with bulldozer. That you use
just pivot
the
points
pistons as main drives. Yeah, I have them just as pivot points. And my bridge, for example, is set up that all the rotors do something in there.
Oh.
So the rotors are all under power.
Yeah. Well, the way you have that bridge, I don't think you could really do it any other way.
Yeah, but the idea, for example, would be to set up pistons instead of. So the thing that I have is I have pistons and rotors in there to make that thing as compact as possible. So this whole thing folds in itself, so it's smaller when it sits up there. Because if you use pistons, on the other hand, using pistons there wouldn't change anything. But you could use, for example, small pistons to maybe. I'm not sure if that would work. If you could use small pistons in the bridge to keep it relatively compact. And then I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that whole all would work.
Well, it's something worth playing with.
Mm-hmm. And maybe
there's
the idea to the gyros to drive the head is nice.
Yeah, and that once again, that's each of us exploring different avenues, and others sharing that and building on that. So, and this is the way I've done my drilling heads ever since, because it seems to work, and it's the mine that I created on the Martian moon. It literally was running for 11 hours straight without a single hiccup, back when pistons and rotors were still explosive or more explosive than they are today. But it went straight without any problems, no disconnects, no explosions or anything. And so that was definitely the time that I felt that this was a deserving design to keep around and use over and over again.
If it stops, yeah, that's the thing. Rotors really shear itself apart, and when a yeah, I don't get why
it's still together.
Why the gyros stop? Why the gyros stop rotating whenever there's something in the way, and why the rotor? I know why the rotor doesn't do it, because the rotor is set to a certain amount of force, and then it tries to exert the force on everything that's around it.
It's attached to, yeah.
If it catches somewhere, then it starts to rotate the ship or the vehicle it is built onto.
Yeah.
So, and why do the gyros not do that? Maybe it treats the whole thing as a subgrid. So, or it doesn't treat it. It is a subgrid.
Yep. It's its own little
And-
ship,
and,
basically.
and yeah, it's basically its own little ship that maybe. But why isn't it? Something. Something is wobbling there. I saw everything wobbling.
Well,
So
I do see the pistons kind of wobbling just a little bit, but it's almost as if it's because we're walking around, so the weight of our engineers is like upsetting the balance or something, just enough.
it could be. I don't know. It's weird. That's so weird.
But
Why is this safer than the rotor? Crazy. Yeah, but then maybe that's an it didn't explode. So
but this is another mod that I really like. This colorable scaffolding. It's
Schaustuhl, or
I don't think it's Schaustuhl. Scaffolding is
I have one from Schaustuhl that is scaffolding, but I don't know if it's colorable. So
this
it could be.
this is colorable, and the way they spell it is in like the English way. So it's Lour. Mafu. Mafu. That's who makes it.
Uh-huh.
And you have both light and heavy armor blocks.
Okay. The pictures, the icons look a bit weird on my screen.
What? The G menu stuff is.
Yeah, the thing is that I used it on that I tried to use it on in my last scaffolding, and with the built-in repair system, that's not really set up to use scaffolding, so I needed to use a mod to get the scaffolding.
Yes, exactly.
Going.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could use it if you have an ignore color.
Yeah.
Then you would just they would always be gray, but you would just have them paint like my ignore color is pure black. So if I had those pure black, I could weld them up to whatever I wanted to as regular blocks, and then the build and repair would not take them any farther.
Touch it, that's a thing I thought about, to maybe reduce my mod load, to maybe set up a weird ignore color so I could have scaffolding. But on the other hand, a scaffolding mod will not kill me.
Still have a drone left over up there on the hillside. I haven't cleaned up.
Where?
It's right there on the hillside, stuck in the crevice.
Oh,
and I have a feeling there's two other ones. There's two. What are they? The round ones. I'll need to get up there and get that later.
Nice. But again, this big thing
should not exist.
Maybe should not. Just not.
That's funny.
I had a Mars rover, a big
I
one,
remember that.
and this thing just.
And it just blew up, basically.
Yeah.
And that's so frustrating too, because you did so much work to that.
Yeah, the problem with it was that it had a whole contraption to pick up a small lid into.
Yep.
Close around it, and that thing might have done its part. Also done its part, because it was another with a lot of pistons, and then the thing itself was on relatively high, so it set on the wheels, and then the wheels had some pylons going up that had where the Mars rover itself was top heavy, and maybe it just at one point just lost it maybe, and it could also have to do with meteor strikes and. So I'm not sure, but the wheels at that point, the wheels were really bad.
Yeah.
So this thing is really nice. You could also just use it as a. Does it have a remote control?
Yes, I have a remote control for the front and the back, for going forwards and going backwards.
Okay. Let me land on it.
Do you know if mass blocks work in natural gravity? Because
As far as
I don't know if they do or not.
they do, but you have turned them off, so then they definitely don't work.
Yeah. I mean, I'd try to like you say, power down things.
I want to get in there.
Oh yes, this is one of those cockpits that you gotta click it just the right spot.
Aim at the absolutely right spot there. So let me take a look. Mass blocks. You are aiming every. The right way. Do you think I can turn on one for a second? Or
Oh yeah, no, you can go ahead.
in?
The only thing you have to do is just the.
Current mass. They say current mass 2,000 kilograms. So they seem to work in atmosphere. And as far as I know, they work in natural gravity. That's one thing that people always said when I built my Mars rover. Put some mass blocks on it, because it was so top heavy that I put some mass blocks in the legs, basically where the wheels were, to weigh it down more to the bottom. But it's just 2,000 kilograms. So the 2 tons mass block, the whole thing up top weighed a lot more. And the big blocks, I'm not sure how much the big blocks were. I think 50 tons or something like that. And
yeah, I don't know. Well, wouldn't know until we actually built one, but
the whole mess and the whole this and this much vehicles or ships weigh this and this much. I think the whole system there is completely whack. It doesn't tell you, it doesn't put subgrids into it, and sometimes ships seem to weigh this and this much, and then in reality they weigh a lot more because there's actually cargo in them. So the whole weight system doesn't work correctly, and so maybe. But one thing I always feel is this thing is so flat. I have the feeling it could use a bit more up top.
Oh, a little more design work up on top?
Yeah, kind of. It has this completely flat look. On the other hand, this is so science fiction-y then. It's neat. It doesn't have the big normally the driver would sit somewhere here and then
yes, I was thinking about designing it like a modern one, but I wanted to get down and low.
The right piston head is disconnected, I have the feeling, or at least it doesn't show it extending for me.
Oh, okay, so that's definitely that's a server thing, because they're both fully extended and everything's connected for me.
And that's good. That's good. I just wanted to let you know, not that.
Now it's probably let's see if there's any damage. Nope, no damage there.
So, but you are just using the pistons as the thing that pushes this thing up. It's not the rotors.
Nope. Rotors are all the rotors, all 6 rotors are just pivot points.
Just off. Okay.
And the only thing that I've done with the rotors is I have set some rotational limits for them. But other than that, it just gives like a solid stop for the pistons.
Okay.
Because I noticed when I lowered it most, it would bounce. The plow would bounce a lot until it would settle down.
Okay.
So then I
So
put
so you have to set it on the bottom so it does.
yeah,
Okay.
so it doesn't bounce. But yeah, and then just a little bit of offset adjustment to get the pistons to not interfere with the plow arms, and it's just it's a project that I built this completely. I didn't build one of these in creative or anything. I built it in here in survival completely.
Yeah.
And I did have that one instance where all the rotors were still fully powered and they kind of had a little adverse effect when I tried to use the pistons. And if it wasn't for the landing pad above us, I think I would have been flipped over and halfway across the lake.
Well, one thing I always have with ships that have batteries, I try to incorporate solar panels.
That is an idea. I actually did kind of think about that, and I completely forgot that I was going to do something like that. That would mean I'd
But
have
on
to
the other hand, I don't place where you could really.
I mean, I'd have to take that brace out of the middle, and I could lay it along the back.
Yeah, the big problem with solar panels is what? Even numbers. They are 4 wide,
Yeah.
I think. And
I think the small ships are actually 5 blocks wide.
Yes, or 3. I think they are 4 wide.
Let me see here.
I have one.
Rotating.
They are 4 wide. 4 blocks. 5?
Oh, they're 5.
Oh, 5! Ooh,
that would actually work.
Absolutely no problem with.
Yeah, I could take that little cross brace out of there, and I could lay it right in between the batteries and where I have the front camera.
It's just for me, it is always a thing that, especially these vehicles, why should they use when they have batteries? You could load them while you're working with them. I think the solar panels produce a lot more power than the whole thing really uses. I'm not sure. Because wheels and so are not so bad when it comes to using power. Oh, you put some small wheels below that, so
that I did
didn't see that
after watching Splitsy and his tram. And I thought that would be a great idea for keeping the bottom of this plow from continually getting damaged.
Yeah.
Because whenever I would grab one of the heavier drones, it would kind of push the plow into the ground. So if I put those smaller wheels on the bottom, they seem to have helped out a lot.
That's not a bad idea. If you just set the strength to pretty much the highest and then have a bit of a bumper to not ram everything, that's neat.
And then just the damage that I incur is just from the blocks resisting movement, and if I decide to run into whatever I want to plow a little too fast, then
the idea that I had, or that you gave with this design and this thing is kind of having a shield that you could put in front of a ship or something like that.
Oh, okay. And the shield would take all the damage. Yeah.
You could just drop down in front of the cockpit or something like that. That was one of the ideas that I had with using stuff like that. I tried to do that with a ship that I had in one of the earlier worlds, where I had big shields on the sides. It looked a bit like a TIE fighter.
Okay.
And I would not fight enemies with the front toward the enemy, but with the side toward the enemy. And I had turrets on the top and the bottom that that had some in the shield there were some points where the turret could shoot through.
Oh, that sounds pretty
And
neat.
yeah, it never really worked out the way it should.
But it looked
But
good, though.
it looked, yeah. But the idea was to have a bigger plate on the side that had everything behind it, without having to expose thrusters and all that stuff to enemy fire. And with that you could have an open cockpit and see nicely out of your cockpit, but then you could put down a shield, for example, to close off the cockpit, and then I don't know. It was just an idea that I had with the hinges that you have to put on.
Well, I mean, I haven't patented this design, so you're more than welcome to experiment.
I'm not sure.
It did take. Now, the video that I made about the construction of this, it did take quite a while for me to get the pistons and the rotors to play together nice. But I mean, that was just doing the fine tuning of where the connection points were, so they weren't trying to fight against each other.
Yeah. Nice, really, really nice. The thing for me always is combat thing didn't do a lot for my community, so I'm not completely into building ships that are so combat ready as they could be, and that's why designs like that then fall through.
I'm not big into the combat aspect, but I don't mind it a little bit once in a while. But I like building little things like that, or exploratory things, or sure, like the way that the Baroness is set up, or my Explorer is set up, where I have the guns on there to protect me from smaller, more aggravating enemies than some big war machine. And that's why I'm not too crazy about using the corruption mod, is because that is way over the top, and that would lead to more frustration than enjoyment for me. And maybe the subscribers might like it because they'd see me lose it, but I'm not going to continue to play if I'm always frustrated.
I know that problem. Yes, the corruption mod was one of the worst, one of the more
it's a nightmare.
Nightmarish ideas I had to put into my world.
If you want to be a sadist and you want to inflict stress and frustration to yourself,
masochistic tendencies.
Yes.
Go in and say.
I mean, it worked out really good with.
Maybe I need something that kicks my butt.
Yes.
All the time and destroys things all the time.
Like Captain Shack and Textfire, that worked out decently because they were able to work together on that. But that was just completely insane.
Yeah, the problem that I have with that is, again, I have the feeling one of my subscribers that they developed the guy that makes the corruption mod, and the YouTubers that used it. They went into this arms race where the guys would build something to defend themselves against these drones, and then the guy that makes the mod basically ups it again.
Yeah.
And for everybody else that uses the mod, that was a bit of a problem, because they had to do the same arms race with him.
Yep, that's very true.
And that doesn't work out for me. For me, it was, okay, get a mod that can cancel the other thing, and then hopefully the mod keeps doing what it does, or find something else to. And that's not how it works out, because then my world was set on I have to defend myself against these constant barrages
Yes.
of drones that come in. And so I have to find new and better and more weapons to defend myself with. And then I have to put in energy shields, and then I have to put in
Yeah.
just to defend
That's
myself against the corruption. And
that's the primary reason why I really like that script that Splitsy came up with, and then was a Rich 27 refined and really got it working good. Is that there are active attacks, but they only happen in waves, and then it's a big lull, just like right now. I mean, I haven't seen a drone for episodes and episodes.
Yeah, and it is the thing that it is vanilla drone. That don't know, the vanilla drones could need an update. It would be nice to have a bit more challenge, but on the other hand, and again, the whole corruption was just okay. Here are undestructible drones that you can only destroy if you destroy the mothership that sits 16 kilometers out and
it's just crazy.
And then, here's a drone that just takes your ships and destroys your base. That's nice too.
I mean, bravo to that person to be able to make that happen. But geez,
absolutely, it's absolutely impressive what you are able to do with space engineers and the whole programmable blocks around it and all that stuff. But on the other hand, I might don't know, build in peace.
Yes.
But I think they say that this is not building in peace then anymore. But it would be good to have a bit more of a, not progression, but so maybe have a version of it that is not so crazy and hammers you with more and more drones and with crazier and crazier drones.
Step up the vanilla drones a little bit, and maybe they're maybe the different parameters that would cause. The thing that I wish that you could do is, and it seems, as far as I know, regardless if your antenna is on or not, they will find you. Now, wouldn't it be nice if there was a way that they were programmed so that the code is written so that if your antennas are off, you're invisible to other drones and everything until you're maybe within a kilometer, and then you're in visual range, so they're going to follow you there.
Yeah, or they really have to search you. I know that Corruption had drones in there that searched for you and then basically gave signal to other drones. Something like that would be nice.
Oh,
to be able to just say, okay, I destroy this drone, and then there is no attacks following after that for a while.
Yes.
Or something like that. But on the other hand, I don't know how specific you can work with the AI there, if that's even AI or so. I'm not sure. You built your grinder pit. Did you get inspired by Splitsy to build the grinder pit?
Sort of, kind of, yes.
So, and it's so nice to see different things there, because Splitsy built this crazy thing with just the grinders, and then a lot of sensors that go in and see if there are still blocks in there, and then and you just use the built-in repair system and said, okay, if anything falls through the cracks, the built-in repair system will just handle it.
Now, I found that it did miss things. It was as if there was blocks down here that did not exist in the game, but they were still visibly there. And I was able to grind them away too. But the build and repair systems didn't take care of them, and the grinders didn't take care of them. So I don't know. A little glitch, but yeah, that was my idea. Was to be able to.
The of the build and repair system pretty.
Yeah, that is pretty aggressive, and I don't know if there was some glitch that kept those from disappearing. I don't know. But these build and repairs are definitely, they're limited to this area right here and only here. So,
and you could make your life a lot. Set up a ship. I know that you factory you have a repair system. You could set up a built-in repair system, fly to the drone, let them be grinded down, and then you wouldn't have to, let's say it that way, you wouldn't have to build a pit and the bulldozer. On the other hand, it's nice to build.
Well, I was actually doing that with the transport. I would fly out to drones and I'd have them disassemble it.
Yeah.
But it was taking so long that I figured, you know what? Just for, if nothing else, entertainment for myself, for my viewers. I built the grinding pit, and I built the plow. At first, I wasn't going to build a plow. I was just going to build a ship to pick up the pieces and drop them in.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured, well, the wheels and everything are kind of working a lot better than they used to. Maybe I'll try to make a bulldozer. And then
the idea was definitely good. By the way, I saw in one of the... Do you have a drill on you?
I do.
Do you mind if we fly to one of the corners of this thing here and see if this is ice?
Oh, sure.
Because I saw in a video by another guy that might not even be ice, because we talked about the this might be ice, but it could be that this is stone, and then there wouldn't be problems with it being slippery.
Oh, well, I mean, all of this seems to have been ice the whole time. Where do you want me to dig?
I wanted to go in a corner, so somewhere. But if you don't have a problem digging here, then just dig here.
Okay, well, we'll try here. We'll do some experimenting.
It's not experimenting. It's just, see, it's ice. It's ice. How did this guy do that? It's so.
That's right. It was Robertson.
Yeah, he did some digging on one of these lakes, and it had not stone in there, or it had stone in there, and he made it out as something. It's something la because he has narrative going on there, and I was completely, after I watched that, I was completely shocked that I told you, because I saw your episode where you did the work with a bulldozer, and you had the problem that this thing didn't have all the friction you wanted to have. And again, the friction with wheels and ice is problematic in the newer version. And so after that I saw the video Robert where he dug this out and said, oh, it's stone, and I was okay, if it's stone, then K-Max shouldn't have problems with the friction on the thing. Why did I tell him something different? Because I always thought
I'm trying to remember
ice.
Where did he dig near the very edge of it?
Yeah, something.
All right, well, I'll go over here.
It could be that don't dig where you see it.
Maybe
it might be that he dug too close to the edge, got stone, and then.
All right, so over here.
Did that. Yeah, he might even did that deliberately. So.
I'm seeing ice.
Yeah. Baby.
I thought of the same thing.
The thing is, he might have done that deliberately, so it fits into his narrative.
Yeah,
because he's not doing what we are doing.
No, and I started watching his series. I don't recall ever seeing it before, and I'm all caught up to where he was. So it's definitely a different take on the whole situation. and I do like it.
A completely different take. So the thing there was for me that I had a bit of a bad case of yeah. I was a bit worried that I told just right, because I said to you, hey, you're on an ice lake, so your friction is completely off.
So you were actually right, because this is an ice lake, so
yes, it is
that would do it.
I just wanted to see if that's true, but I don't have a base of the alien planet right now, so I can't really take a look at it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna throw this ice in here. There's a little bit of a.
Yeah, do you have a connector somewhere where?
Over towards the mining rig, there are 2 connectors. One is low to the ground.
Ah, okay. How do you even sprint? I don't even know.
You push the shift key.
Yeah, I have that set up to fly
Oh,
down,
okay.
So
well, that's the default, is the shift key.
yeah. So now I need to see where is your storage for that. I will just.
Should be. I think it's.
I've just put mine into the
BA.
generator.
Okay, so it was probably BA2 or something like that. Yeah, but that's all right.
How did you set up the? Ooh, how did you set up the?
What's that?
Your. Oh, you have 3 times the volume setting for the inventory and all that
Yes.
stuff. Ah, okay.
Yeah, so I don't have I don't have the maximum, but I have the next level up because.
Do you
just
know
like,
if that counts for oxygen bottles too? Do they empty out faster?
I don't know. I know
Because
that they.
I had an empty bottle on me, and I don't know.
Oh wow! I have an
Hey.
empty bottle too.
And I don't know why it did that. I really like the system of these pads. What I never got is why you've put your hangers below your landing pads. That
Well, that one was specifically supposed to be for a wheeled vehicle.
okay, wheel-based vehicles, yeah.
And the other one, I don't know. I didn't want to put it way up on the cliffside. And
It's just because of the big hangar definitely now not in the way, but you have the big landing pad in front of it, and you couldn't fly. You couldn't have this nice, completely flying straight out of there with high speeds, because you would just crash into.
Yes. Well, unless you had a good maneuvering craft, and you could just shoot straight up.
Yeah, that would work. I just tend to build if I try to not have anything in of it.
I mean, that's a good idea. That's I kind of wanted to go with the way my subterranean corridors are.
Yeah.
And it just seemed to work out that way. As you probably noticed, you've got to actually walk up to get into the hangar from the corridor. So if I really wanted to, I could have probably buried this thing if I put it at the same level.
Yeah. That's still a thing that where I'm a bit. That's another mod I would in the game to have longer hangar doors.
Yes.
For me, the hangar doors are just not big enough. I would like to have. So I would like to have hangars borrowed, borrowed, not borrowed.
Burrowed?
Yeah, so in the ground.
Yes.
Inset there, and then have big hangar doors that you could open, fly out of there or something like that. And with the small hangar doors, this is just not.
No. See, now I have saved a world file that somebody created on the moon
Yeah.
these huge hangar doors. I'm sure you've seen it. And
Yeah.
I tried to paste it into like even Earth, and the weight, the mass of the doors was still too much for the thrusters and everything. And I tried to do like swinging doors on another. I have another world where it's kind of like my showroom where I'm trying to kind of set up things so that when I start to really be serious about sharing things and want to have all the different fancy pictures and stuff, I have a place to do it. But I couldn't make the door work. I tried to raise it from the side, rotate it from the sides like splitsies, and get them to lock into merge blocks and pressurize, and it wouldn't work. So I went to, I think Shaustal has
there
blocks.
There is big hangar.
Yes, the hangar doors. Yeah.
I
So
really like
that's
them,
what I
but
have
on
those.
the other hand, it would be nice to have them kind of visible in the game.
Yeah, it would be nice. I mean, I don't have to go as much as 10, but at least twice as long as what these ones do.
10 would be nice. 10 would be really nice to have a really big opening where you could have
There's one
ships.
There's one here that's
below.
32.
yeah, that's 32 is maybe a bit crazy.
Yeah.
But, I had. I don't
And they're
know.
the old model too. I think they're not the new model. I don't think so.
I had. Let me see. What did I have? The problem is that the mods that I have.
Yeah, these are the old. It's the old model of the doors. So
I wouldn't mind.
yeah. I mean, it's
mind.
the new mod is nice, or the new model is nice, but it's not necessary.
I want to just see one I think I have one mod I'm subscribed to, but I didn't set up in the world. I have airtight hangar doors, and I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's just 6 blocks, and that's better.
Oh yeah.
So they it's from Ike's. They come out over 6 blocks. The problem with the hangar doors is that you kind of have the base has to be a lot longer. So that's already a thing that has to.
Yeah, I think that's something that Shaustal is taking care of with the with his doors, because they're still the same size block. It's still a single block, and I'm looking at a 10x door, and it still has one block as the base.
That's maybe a bit crazy for me.
Yeah. But I would agree that you would definitely have to have it a lot longer just to be more realistic, I guess would be the thing to say.
There's so
more
many
believable.
There's so many good things out there. There's Ryder made a corner block for the hangars. That's also
yes, I actually have those. I think I have those installed now. Not that I'll use them, but glass door.
Yeah,
okay, it's not in this. It's not in this world.
Secton has made the 32 one, and that's so crazy. But again, it's I would like to have just bigger hangar doors. The I don't know. It would be nice to have a way to have hangars in the floor or in the ground and have them up to the top, or even in ships. So the I think hangars like on a Star Destroyer, in the bottom of the ship, but being able to close it off and all this, that would be nice. And with a small yeah, with these small ones, it's just not really feasible. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Again, you could put stuff into it that gets pulled away, but that's not the
I mean,
same.
it's then you're using so much more space and you're creating so much more complexity that it could just blow up at any time.
Yeah, that's
Reliability is important.
Yeah, being protected from clang is just